soap today inspired by one of the most iconic resort towns in all the country from Stirling Soap Company.
It's a beautiful morning with the Barbershop Duet.
Hi, I'm Marcus Klinger with Klinger Vocal Studio.
And I'm Sarah Vincent with Sarah Vincent Virtual Pilates.
But on Wednesdays and Saturdays.
We are the Barbershop Duet.
Hey, y'all, come on in. We're so glad to see you. If you happen to be here during one of the live premieres, we'd love to meet you. Come on in the barbershop. Meet the Whiff Pack, a cool group of folks hanging out from all over the world. They'd love to meet you, too.
They would. And for our special mention today, we wanted to make sure to show you the balm that they have at Stirling. We often use this because we like our unscented balm, and then we can mix in some other splashes and stuff later. So if your skin is feeling like it just needs a little extra love, this is a nice one to go to.
And there is a little bit of a debate going on as to at what point you layer this on. I like to put it on after the aftershave. So I put the aftershave on, let it do this little burny thing, and then this goes on to help nourish the skin at the very end. But some folks like to do it in the other direction, and it gives the skin a little bit of a foundation so that the aftershave isn't as affected by your natural scent notes if you want it to sit above like a barrier on the skin. Some people use gasoline, I've heard, in the fragrance world. In the shaving world, we use like unscented balms, and this one is awesome, y'all. So we've only mentioned it once before. We wanted to give it a little extra love.
Yeah, and I got the lavender one from my mom, and she liked it so much I had to go back and get a few more. So,
mysteries and wonders from Stirling Soap Company, y'all. And check out the price. You can't beat it. And what's our soap today?
Our soap today is a special gift from our friend Josue, who may actually be in the chats if you want to chat with him. But once he smelled this, he was like, no, you guys got to get your nose on this. So he searched, and I think he found it at Pasteur, hiding away.
He had to look for this one, y'all, but he got it to us. Thank you, Josue. So, y'all, while this is not on the Stirling page right now because it has just gone out of season, we did find it on the Pasteur Pharmacy page. So here is your scent description.
Surf, sand, suntan lotion, heat, flowers, and now with lavender and blood orange notes. This is the scent of a tropical tourist destination. I'm guessing that's the South Padre.
I would have no clue how you're going to do the first 6 of those, but I am all in for it because when Rod and Mandy go to create a vibe, it's a vibe to write home about, y'all.
Yeah.
So I'm
keep our summer fun going here. You ready?
For a few more weeks, and I can't wait to let this one out of the box.
All right, so it may not be a box. It's a bag.
Come from Pasteur.
All right, let's see if I can rip this bad boy open. Sometimes it's a little sticky. Oh,
yeah, this is a seasonal from Stirling, so it comes and goes away. So you gotta strike while the iron's hot. So luckily, he found us one of the very last ones. And let's see from Pasteur, is there a note?
We do also have fun pictures that Josue took for us when he went to Pasteur's.
Right,
and it was cool to see everything, like the whole aisles and aisles of shave soap. Just mind-blowing.
He's like, it's the motherland, y'all. You'd never believe it. We gotta have a meetup in New York one of these days.
Okay, so here's the color, y'all. It's kind of like a fun little grayish, bluish kind of color.
I have no idea what this is supposed to smell like, but I do know it's based on a resort town, so I'm thinking maybe a little surf, a little sun. Who knows? But we'll know when we have our first impression. Okay, I'm wasting no time. That was good. That was a valiant effort.
You watched that. It was real. Okay. All right, let's see, Josue. See the Marcus face after the first whiff on this bad boy.
Here we go.
Was a good whiff. It's still whiffing.
Are you kidding me with this? Oh.
See, Josue knows his way to find some good scents so far. We gotta admit.
Hold on. Whoa. All right. So first of all, it's a little less intense than normal Stirling soap, but it is for a reason.
Okay.
When I was about 10, my sister and I could not be drug away from the community pool. We were there almost every day. It was bananas. So this dude comes over to our house with like a briefcase and a suit, right? And he was not peddling a religion. We were like, wait, what's going on here? He was from Toland Pool Company. And my parents decided that they were going to put in a backyard pool.
Score.
Well, y'all, my life changed forever that day because not only was it an awesome experience watching these guys rip up your backyard, but it became just our own little paradise in our backyard. And my mom got it all just exactly the way she wanted, and we never left it. Now, being back in the days when it was just as cool to put on suntan oil as it was sunscreen, because all of us used to just bake in the backyard unaware of what the sun was doing to us.
True.
My mom was very insistent that we wear sunscreen, and she had a proclivity for one particular scent, and it was the copper tone sunscreen. The one with the little dog and the little girl on it, right? There's a mural at Disney World.
Totally.
This has, now let me be clear. Hold on. This starts with a vibe of that sunscreen, and then it zooms out as if to turn that sunscreen into a wearable cologne.
Oh, cologne.
So I think that's why this is magic, because it's not the sunscreen. It's the sunscreen as if like a Creed sort of got a hold of it.
Right.
What would they do with it?
Revamped it in a whole new way.
I think it's kind of that.
Okay.
For me, so what I love is that it lets me revisit those days by our pool. And it's got a little bit of like some of just the fruitiness of the lemon tree, or maybe a little bit of Dad's margarita hiding in the background of this.
Okay, something fun.
But most of it is just the pool water and the sunscreen and a vibe of being in my backyard. You can even smell like the wet concrete, because we had big concrete slabs.
When you get out of the pool.
You get it wet and dry really fast, but it kind of had this beautiful like sandy scent to it. When it did, you could see the water vapor escaping the concrete. Oh, I love this. And y'all, those who are not constant viewers will know that my mama left this world not long ago. So it's very cool to be able to have some scents that remind me of sitting out by the pool being yelled at by her on the lounge chair. No jumping off the roof into the pool kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Oh, I love that this recaptures that.
I'm so glad.
Maybe even now, here's the part my brain is inventing, that there's a tiny wisp of chlorine in this, because that's how perfectly it's recreating that backyard scent for me, y'all. And it was in 1985, 1986. So, I mean, was there a better year ever?
Right?
Ever?
I think actually on one of our phone calls with Jose, he's got the neighborhood pool in his backyard too.
Oh, so that's right. He said, and he said all the neighbor kids just show up with towels talking about, hey, you want to play? Yeah, that kind of stuff.
So I wonder if that's a commonality that's coming through here. Whether it's intentional or not, that's fabulous.
He knows. He knows that backyard pool scent,
right?
and how awesome it is. It would go late into the night.
Oh, I'm sure.
So, like our parties would go
summer
to
as soon as
midnight.
it's warm enough to just stay out there. I get it.
Very cool. All right, take it in.
I'm super curious now.
It's awesome, y'all.
Let's see. Oh, fun. Okay, I do get what you're saying, though.
What do you find?
Okay, I get a little of the copper tone side.
Yeah.
I can see where that's part of this. And then something gets a little sweeter to me. I don't think it's nothing gourmandy. It might be like a fancy floral-y thing happening.
Nice. Do you get that it's sort of the copper tone sort of evolved into a cologne sense?
Yeah, I it's funny because I don't know if I want to say cologne or perfumey. Like, it's definitely been to someone with a fancy nose that knows how to recreate that in a new way.
Right.
And it's funny to me, the way you were explaining to me, I thought it was going to be much hotter, if that makes sense. Like, I could almost smell the humidity happening. Right. Here, I don't. I almost feel like I'm on, like, shady side of the pool. Right. Like, it's a little cooler, but you would totally jump in and enjoy yourselves.
Right. We've had scents that we sense a humidity to them.
True.
This
like,
isn't it. This is a cool breeze. This is our bay breeze when we go for our walk.
I could almost be at a really fancy resort and, like, sitting at the bar or the restaurant, and I can see the water, the ocean, the something. Like, I know I'm somewhere that's fun and chill. Like, I can almost hear like the birds chirping or the distance kids off in the pool. Like, I'm definitely outdoors. Yes. There's something about that coming through, and I gotta say it has a fun, like, almost spring into summer for me. Like, it's not too hot. Like, I just stay outside all day. It's not like I'd have to like put a buffer on being, you know, in the sun or something.
Yeah, for sure.
I can see why Josue did say he's on a never-ending search to find the splash, though. There is something that I feel like with the splash would just keep that day and that fun side going.
The sunscreen on your face, maybe.
Mm-hmm. I know you mentioned, like, there may be, like, a margarita on there, but I think that's why. I'm just sitting outside enjoying myself. Whatever that entails, being in the water, the ocean, the something, there is that carefree, like, I'm just going to sit here and enjoy my drink and have a good rest of my day.
Reminds me of eating at Trader Vic's restaurant, which is not far from here, which is where the Mai Tai was invented worldwide. True. They invented the Mai Tai right here. They even invented the martini in Martinez. What is it about the alcoholics in the East Bay? But just this sense of like an ancient tiki bar looking out over the most iconic bay in all the world is kind of that sense for me.
Yeah, I almost I feel like I am at a fancy resort.
Right.
Like I would have planned my outfit, if that makes sense. I'm not hanging in my sweats by the pool. Like I would have probably put on a nicer dress or a cover up or something. Like there is something about an event happening, whether that intention is just to escape and enjoy being away. But I know we looked up a little bit about South Padre, and I can totally see how this smell would take me to there. I've never been, obviously, but from the pictures and the vibe of reading it, this really portrays that type of energy and place, I feel like.
And for me, I used to get to go to some really beautiful, amazing resorts because my dad was a funeral director. He was the president of his funeral home. So we'd get to go on convention every once in a while. It was usually to like beautiful, beachy resort towns where nobody went to the meetings, right? It was just about that.
Hanging out. Yeah.
This is what those hotel lobbies smell like when you're paying way too much for the room. This is what all of those places have, like a vibe of this. Like somehow luxury and pampering are sort of built into this set.
No, I'm with you. Do we attempt to go back and reread it?
I think we need to read these set notes. Let's see what's in this thing. All right, so back to the sales page at pasteurpharmacy.com.
The straight up surf is listed.
That's a set note.
So that's there.
Surf.
And then sand, where you were thinking of like kind of like the pavement by the pool or something.
Do you get the sand note? Because I get it as sand, but I also get it as like a wet concrete from growing up in my backyard.
One of my aunts had a backyard that had a pool, but it kind of disappeared like into a rock wall kind of vibe. So it was much more fancy and bougie kind of already. But I almost get that. Like there's something about the real side of the pool kicking in or something.
And funny, it's not sea spray.
No.
We just did one of those. It's not sea spray at all.
No.
It's surf. And I don't know how to tell you the difference other than surf washes up on the beach.
Right.
Usually got some surfers going on. You got some sunscreen. You got some wax for the surfboards going on. That sense is what's going on.
And it does list suntan lotion, heat flowers, and now with lavender and blood orange. Oh, maybe that's the end of this.
Right.
Maybe that's why we were thinking like perfumey. There's something else at the end.
Heat is a set note. Now, I don't think the bomb beyond insanity is in here. But how are they doing the heat?
It's funny because I do get the heat. Like, I know there's sunshine, but I am not getting the humidity side.
Right. Oh.
So I think that's the difference.
I'm glad you said that. And you know what's funny? When you first read this, I thought it said heat flowers. Because there are some flowers that do great in 110 degree weather. And I can't explain it. Most flowers, when they get over like 90, they're like, but there are some heat flowers that do beautiful in that sort of humidity and that sort of temperature. And this kind of smells like those, you know, those red ones that are like right out here.
I feel like I definitely get more of the lavender than the blood orange, though. See if you can get the blood orange.
I wonder if these were later additions to the scent.
I'm not sure. Or maybe when we lather, or maybe the splash is where it's hiding. But there might be something that's keeping it bright and, coming through.
That lavender is just giving it a gorgeous, clean laundry sense for me. I think that's what's giving it the clean. Like, okay, if I'm just going to continue on with this little analogy I've got going on, it's my beach towel, fresh from the dryer.
Yeah,
That's
you
what
go.
It is. Because we each had it. It's funny, when we got our pool, we went down to like Pick and Save, and we each bought a big beach towel that was going to be like our towel, because Mom was like, I am not doing 9 loads of laundry for all your pool towels, so we get one each, right? Then we would hang it over the wrought iron.
Let it hang,
This smells like the pool towel that's hanging over the thing, fresh from the laundry with a little bit of that. And then the blood orange is a little bit, I think that's where I was getting a sense of Dad's margarita.
Maybe.
That citrus.
But at first, when I took my initial whiff, I got more of the feminine side of it.
Right.
And then you were talking about more the cologne side of it. But I think this is where it can kind of teeter each way.
Right. For me, it took that copper tone sense and just made it way more luxurious from the outset. It wasn't as $1.99 as the copper tone stuff itself. It smells better than that in here, but there is way more going around.
If I use the suntan lotion as my lead-in scent, like my key scent, then I follow through to the florals. If I'm just trying to smell for the vibe, I don't get that hit of that as much.
And we might find a few more mysteries and wonders hiding in the leather, y'all. This is my KUN bowl, ironically from deep in the heart of Texas, not far from South Padre Island, where Monica Gillen has Vanulay. And she makes these honeycomb resin bowls. Y'all, she'll make them in any color you want. And we challenged her to make us a barbershop one.
She came
and there it is, y'all. Within 24 hours, we had pictures. I'm always curious what the more oceany sort of scents do when you add actual water to them.
Right, like does it actually flourish?
Yes, here we go, y'all. The Stirling lather. If you are a newbie, not that there's anything wrong with it, this lather is your friend. It is kind of whatever you want it to be. A little bit less water, it's thicker, a little bit more pasty on your face. A little more water, it just gets a little bit more more slick and friendly.
It's funny, I was smelling some of our Barrett samples the other night, and there's two that remind me of a similar vibe to these.
Right.
I don't remember exactly what they're called. I think one's Walking the Pier, one's like
Yes,
something
Beach
Tides,
Walk, I
but they
think.
do have that similar...
Tranquil Tides.
That one. They do have that similar energy of like, you know, a vacation-y by the water, kind of nice. There are little florals, there's some ocean-y vibes going on.
You know, this has a little bit more of like a bamboo-y sense of like your luggage or something going on in that mix. A little bit more of the hotel lobby itself before you go outside.
Well, it
and
does end
discover
this
the
saying
sunscreen.
a tropical tourist destination. So it's specifically kind of hinting a little more at that
Maybe.
side, I think.
Right, because y'all, this is, let me be clear, this is not all sunscreen, this is not
No.
all fruits, this is not all sweets, this is not all gourmands. There's definitely some drier,
Yeah.
woodier, like herbier
Something.
stuff hanging out
Yeah.
in this. There's two sides of it.
And I think that's where you were getting more the paventy side, or they list sand. Like there is something real
Yeah,
about this place
I
that's
do.
coming through.
And heat. I think the way they're doing the heat is actually with a scent, not a sense.
Oh,
So I think
interesting.
there's something in here that's actually giving it heat. I think there's a
maybe.
spice or something herby.
Things
This
are
is
waking
turning
up.
out beautiful. All right, y'all. So this is something you will only see here on the Barbershop Duet. This is the My Bike's in the Basement of the Alamo with. On 3, 1, 2. This is way more of a real place.
Yes, I was about to say that. And I get more sandy part
Yes,
here.
that's a little bit more whimsical, more of the beach, more of the sunscreen. This is more of the hotel.
Like the vibe is a little more complete here.
Absolutely, more of the hotel lobby. I mean, the windows are open.
Yep,
The,
there's
the
lots of
curtains
fresh
are
air.
linen. They're billowing, right? There's stuff outside to be sure.
It's the
but-
picture on the brochure.
Right,
It's
I'm getting
that one.
both. Yeah, I'm getting both, y'all. Maybe even a party outside that the hotel is throwing on its grounds. That
Yep.
we're getting very specific.
We
on
are.
this. And you know, I've been to Texas. This smells a little Texas-y.
Does it?
There's something about the... No, there is. There's something about the grasses of Texas. There's something
Yeah,
just about the herbs of Texas. Been to the stockyards. Those smell a little different.
It does smell a little different than I would picture this type of a location around us here.
Right.
Like
It's
there
not
is
as
something
sweet.
different, like you travel to this destination.
Right. It's not as sweet. I'm beguiled at how non-sweet this is, and yet still how comforting it is. Because, well, just to give you a little look behind the curtain, I am beguiled by my sweets. It's real easy to get me to love a soap if it's sweet enough. But I have a special connection with those that are drier, that are not doing their charm with sweet, that are doing it with something else, because it hits the same places without having to do it, well, the easy way, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know what that floral is. It's kind of reminding me a little more of a gardenia-ish something, but there's something in there that's making it so real.
She's hit it. It's a gardenia. 100%. 100%. I was
Something
like,
that
Jasmine,
lame.
no,
Nah.
you nailed it. But I love that the gardenia is the glue that's holding all of this together.
Yeah.
Because until you said it, I didn't smell it.
Okay.
But as soon as you said gardenia and named it, I was like, oh, yeah, that's totally there.
Because I think that's what's in the two Barrett homages that's something similar that's making
Right.
me think of this one. And they use that same thing for like a similar tropical vacation-y
Right.
summer vibe.
Yeah.
And I'm getting that here.
Love this. And I love that this, more than any other soap we've got, smells like my backyard.
I was just going to say, I know you brought up the trees in the backyard and the different florals or different things in
Yeah.
there, but there's something about the hours spent hanging out at the pool.
My mom was the daughter of a horticulturalist, y'all. She had beautiful florals and woods and spices and things all over that
Like
backyard.
thought went into what was in there.
Right,
Yeah.
and like the pool was on the ground level, and then we had a giant retaining wall around the pool, and then a big slope going up all the rest of our backyard. Like we lived
Gotcha.
on a big hill, so all of the slope was her flowers and her woods and her ground cover. So when and it kind of like the way the breeze came into the backyard, it came in over that hill. So you did get a huge sense of the woods and the florals before you got the drinks and the chlorine and everything else and the sunscreen. So y'all, I love that this is taking me back to some of the best times of my life
That's a
growing
fun
up
way that
backyard
like
with the pool.
the memories really do connect to scent sometimes in ways that you're not expecting. So I'm really glad Jose went this one because we
not
missed
taking me
it.
to my beach town, y'all, but taking me back to my backyard pool with my mama, and there is no better place for me to be taken nowadays than the shaving room. And you know what? I do have a kind of a funny story, but we have to take a little bit deeper. So, y'all, I can't teach my singers breath control the way I was taught breath control. Because I was taught breath control in my backyard pool at 2 o'clock in the morning by my uncle, who's an osteopath, who was doing his residency when he lived with us. His wife, my aunt, is a gorgeous singer. She does opera and all that stuff. So he brings me outside at 2 in the morning, opens a small hole in the shallow and deep end of the pool cover and puts me in. He says, take a giant breath, relax, and swim to me under the pool cover all the way to the deep end. Now, you can't come up in the middle to take a breath, so you got to stay loose. You got to stay relaxed. If you start to feel like you're going to pass out, look up at me. No, there's only 4 seconds left to go. You'll be fine. I need to show you what your body can do. And I did it, and I did it for an hour, and it was awesome, and it was scary. And then at the very end of the night, he covered the deep end. He goes, now, down and back. Go. Ever since then, I have understood exactly how much air our bodies can hold. But thank God we had our pool, or I don't think I'd be half the singer I am today. In fact, that's one of the first questions I ask one of my new singing students. Do you have a pool? Because it tells me exactly how much breath work I'm going to have
to do.
Or
are you on a swim team? Let's
exactly that. You went to the pool growing up, right?
Yeah, we had a local plunge that we would go to that was definitely like, driving distance that the family would all load up and go.
The plunge is world famous.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
Save the plunge.
That's very cool.
So we used to go there. That was our closest thing. We did have a few friends that had a pool, but when I was in college, I had to take a different credit for some of my stuff, and I decided to take swimming.
Right.
And I didn't realize how much as a dancer I did not focus on breathing until we hit the pool, and I was like, oh, I should probably use this while I'm dancing as well. We're not
used to taking in giant breaths in our normal everyday life. Our lungs are only that big in case we get chased by a bear or thrown into a pool. Right?
It's true though. Like I just didn't really focus on it. I think because dance, you're thinking about counts and choreography and what is happening. You're not really focusing on the breathing. Yeah. But not until I did that, and then I started my Pilates certification stuff. And there are certain exercises you are supposed to cue the breathing. So I'm much more aware of it now. Even hearing you sing too, like, we probably should focus on the exhale here for a moment.
And y'all, we do realize when we watch our shaving shows that we love to see how the lather coats the face. So who are we to deprive y'all of this
let's
demonstration?
See this Stirling in action. It smells really good.
It's like single coat house paint. Y'all, look at that. You don't need to even put any coats on it. Peaks and valleys.
But I do like having the scent close to my nose. I can get the whiffs going on,
I love how it's not totally sweet.
Yeah.
When I kind of heard ripples through the community of like, there's like sunscreen, there's like those things in there.
Right.
I really expected
Just
sort of a
assume it,
sweet summer, but this isn't. This is more of a savory summer.
And it's fun because we have opened some that list similar things in their scent profile.
Right.
And this is completely different. I have to admit, like it's a different way of using the floral and the something like they are not the same. So if you were thinking you had all the summer scents, this is one you may want to catch next round.
This was one of those where I really thought I knew exactly what I was going to smell. And I could not have been more wrong.
Yeah,
but
I'm with you.
So glad. I love how this really takes me to a place.
Yeah.
I thought this would be more of like a product or a person or a gourmand, but
no.
This puts me solidly next to my
I actually am really excited to have my mom take a whiff of this because I think kind of what you were saying, like it just reminds me of your mom. I think there's something in this she would really enjoy.
And how fun to shave your legs in the outside pool sense that this is giving me.
Yeah, that's fun.
So it's pretty simple, y'all. Just go to your favorite magic shop on the Santa Monica Promenade. Make sure you tie your bike up in front. Otherwise, it might get stolen and you might have to go to a fortune teller to find out where it is. She might put you on a train bound for the Alamo and you're looking for the basement. You got your own! Head over to stirlingsoap.com where you can find this and a wide range of other products. Well, I've had my shave, y'all, with South Padre. And I think what we were saying in the episode is absolutely right. I think this is if Creed took on Coppertone, and you wouldn't know the Coppertone was there unless you were told. What a beautiful, beguiling summer scent. Makes me feel like I'm at the kind of resort that I used to go to with my folks on cemetery conventions, where you'd pick up the phone and they'd call you by name. Those kind of places. What a ritzy, beautiful smell. And the lather? Y'all, once you start exploring more and more razors that offer blade feel, start with a Stirling lather, because it's going to let you feel that gentle scrape of the actual blade against your face. But it's going to make you feel safe doing it. Thanks, Rod and Mandy. And Elaine wanted to help us with messages.
So for our September giveaway, we wanted to shed some light on Zingari Man. So you have a chance to win a $20 gift card to Zingari Man.
All you have to do to be eligible is send us an email here to WeSentYou@theBarbershopDuet.com so we can get back to you. It's the only way we communicate about our giveaways. And then check back here on October 4th when our devices help us choose our lucky number on the show.
Best of luck. I feel like overall this scent is just making us smile. Like my cheek hurts. Like I don't know. There's just something in this scent that's so pleasant. And knowing Josue sent it just adds that little extra thumbprint of love.
I think this is Creed does Copper Tone.
Oh.
That's what I think. Put it in the comments. But
okay.
I think if Creed were to take on Copper Tone, this is what you'd get.
So,
Creed or Tone.
Rod and Mandy clearly
Creed.
have a nose for this because they found something extra fun in here.
Creedy Tone. It's something like that.
I am so with you though. Like every whiff, I'm just surprised like that it smells that good. Like it really does take you to that place.
Yeah, and y'all, if you have been to a resort town and it is one of your most cherished memories, this could whisk you back there with a quickness. And isn't that what these little shaving soaps are meant to do? Take you away to a happier time and place.
Like I do feel like if I was traveling somewhere, I'd want to take a scent like this. Like this would be one that I'd make sure is in my travel case. Don't you think?
If we take this to the cabin, camping, off the grid, is this going to be too luxurious a scent?
I don't know.
So I think this might
it's
work
pretty
just
friendly for throwing our sunscreen on. You know, just roll with it. It could be a good
We
fit.
might turn the cabin into a Four Seasons. Who knows?
Why not? Thank you, Josue, for sending this to us. It really is going to be a fun friend to have in our den, and I think summers from now on, we are definitely going to be using this.
And it's fun knowing it's from you.
It really
Thank you,
is.
my brother.
Yes, don't forget your next appointment with the Barbershop Duet.
You'll smell better just watching this.